There we go. So really, we wanted to invite you both just to ask you a couple of very simple questions
Mm-hmm.
so that you can share your experience of, why you came and what you found beneficial, what you got out of your visit, so that we can share the video then for people who don't know us but are really curious about coming to the retreat center, and they may not have been on a retreat before and they don't know what to expect, and they don't just want polished marketing material, they want to hear like someone's real experience, and then
Yeah.
it might resonate with them, or it might cause them to ask a question, which is an important question to ask themselves. So that's really why we've kind of gathered today, if that's all right with you.
Yes,
Fantastic.
indeed.
Okay, then ask the first question because Dan has prepared.
I'm not sure I've prepared, but okay, so I'll just do like a little mini intro for the video,
Mhm.
and then we'll go into the first question. Okay. So, hello everyone. Thank you for watching this video. Today we have Wilma and Chrissie with us, who are two lovely ladies who came to stay with us twice actually, um, to do a retreat with us and to spend time with us. So today we would like to just ask Chrissie and Wilma a couple of questions about their stay and ask them to share their experience with whoever is watching this. So welcome, ladies. Good morning.
Good
And
morning.
I would just like to first ask you, what was it in the first place that drew you to our center? So whoever would like to go first, please just go straight ahead. Wilma.
Yeah. So I came across Thomas's advert for the Vedic workshop, which I was interested in taking on a new pathway of wellness, having given up my job recently, and just looking at new avenues. And I came across the advert, so I signed up for it, and then I got a little link to say that you also offered accommodation and you had a retreat. So it just happened by chance, but my goodness, it was like winning the lottery. That's the only way I can say it. The workshop was fantastic, but I was blown away with the accommodation. I thought I was just getting a bed and breakfast, some nice accommodation in a little cottage, and then this amazing cottage up out in the back of the beyond. And I have to say that because it is well and truly like the country. We had quite an experience getting there with no traffic accidents, etc. But it was fun. The ambience of the cottage and the gardens, you don't even need to get into the house just to really feel the stress. It's almost like taking off that overcoat, that like heavy overcoat before you even step inside. It's very tastefully decorated, the retreat. Once you're in the rooms, it's absolutely perfection. And it's time for you just to zone out and go into a whole a retreat. Just look after yourself and the boys. These are both amazing. The welcoming, the food, and the programs that were in offer. So we hadn't expected that, and to combine it with the workshop the following day was excellent. And we had such a good experience with the treatments, the therapies, modalities that we chose. Alexander technique is what we chose, and a little meditation that we came back for more. So that was my experience, and we'll be coming back again. And amazing. Everything, it's a package. It's a full package. I'll let Chrissie say her bit.
So yes, just to reiterate, we had an Ayurveda workshop, didn't we? We were holding an Ayurveda workshop. and we had offered some accommodation for the night before for people who were traveling from further afield. So that was how we met you in the first place.
And
So
you came up all the way from Glasgow.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a few hurdles.
Quite
The
an interesting
roads.
journey. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sorry, Chrissy, I interrupted you. What were you going to say about what drew you to come along with Wilma?
Well, Wilma and I have known each other for quite a number of years. We worked together initially. That's how we met. And I suppose at the beginning, you know, you work with a person and that on the sort of the perimeter of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, years went by, and Wilma and I discovered that we had this mutual interest in alternative methods of helping people, helping yourself, really. So we embarked on quite
Yes.
a few we went down quite a few avenues before we eventually found you guys, and it was Wilma that found you guys on Facebook, and she told me about it, and I said, yes, I think I'd like to come there. I would really like to you know, examine this a wee bit more, find out a wee bit more about it. What you know, what there's nothing to lose. So we did that, and as Wilma said, really, your retreat is nothing but tranquil. It's the tranquility. You can actually feel the nice energies coming once you walk into even the color of your front door, which is, you know, it's a beautiful shade of jade, and even that, I could feel that this is going to be peaceful. This is going to be quiet. This is going to sort of clear my mind a wee bit. What you've done with the place is incredible. In the space of time that you've been there, you offer really, really lovely food. You're welcoming, your kindness, your the interest, the genuine interest that you show in your guests, and in when you're doing your treatment. I always felt this person really cares about my my state of mind, my physical state, and this person is going to try and help me. The second time, and I mean that, you know, I'm talking about the two of you. You're up there quite a bit in my estimation. The second time that I was there, we stayed for 2 nights, and again, I felt the same way, and I actually felt leaving. You know, I said, I turned around to Wilma and I said, I actually feel quite sad leaving this place. And it was as if I'd formed some kind of an attachment to you guys and to the land, to the just the whole. You know, I can't take anything out of what I've said as a negative, because to me there was no negatives, none whatsoever. And I would certainly recommend you guys and Lord Lodge, what you do, to anybody. I would have no hesitation whatsoever.
Thank you for sharing that, both of you. I wonder if, excuse me, I wonder if you might share a little bit about the second time that you came and why you chose the particular treatments that you chose, and then what you felt the benefit was from those treatments, or even if you didn't feel immediate benefit, what shifts you noticed in yourself afterwards compared to before.
My second time there, Dan, was the treatment that I had from traumas. At the time, it does certainly move your memory of what was once a reality and bring it back. If things could have been different, but they weren't. It's acceptance. It's acceptance of whatever came into my life, however bad it was, however awful it was, it did happen. And for quite a number of years, probably over 2 decades, I had put that aside. So I'm not saying that it wasn't painful. It was painful. It is painful, but it's something that I have to acknowledge and accept, that maybe I could have dealt with things differently. That's one of the things, but I can't change that either. It's in the past. What you know, whatever I think of, maybe I should have done that, maybe I should have done that. Well, it's too late for any of that. It's the future, you know, that it awakens. The treatment awakened things in me that I would rather have magically gone away. There is no magic. There is no magic, but your mind, your brain will sometimes lie to you.
Yes.
You know, it will lie to you and make you feel as if you do this, or if you take that, or if you go here, if you go there, you're going to feel better. So you do that. You try and change things, and you do, but it doesn't help. And that, you know, I never, honest to God, I never thought that your brain could lie to you, but gee whiz, it most certainly can. And your subconscious, that your gut feeling is, oh, this isn't really working, but I'll carry on anyway, because my brain has said. So I know that was a really long drawn out answer, but from that respect, yeah, but it took, it probably took a few days for that to, and it's not just a few days, to be honest, it's still going on. It's still going on in my mind. But like I said to you before, I remember leaving and feeling a sadness of you know, I'm going to miss these people, but then was it a sadness of trying to let go of my own emotional turmoil, or was it a gratification of somebody just helped me there?
So I hope you don't mind me sharing that you had a hypnosis session.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Thomas specializes in something
Yeah.
soul center healing hypnosis. So
Mm-hmm.
treatment and and thank you very much for sharing your experience. So from what I've understood, the process, the treatment helped you to come face to face with what was really going on.
It did. It did. I'm not like I said, Thomas and Dan, I'm not saying it was easy.
Of course.
It was not easy. It still isn't easy. However, at long last, the reality is I'm now accepting the reality. And to be honest with you, you know, I don't know how I managed to be and accepting and pretending really that things didn't happen. How I managed to keep that up for so long, I don't know. I don't know.
But the thing here is, like you correctly indicated, that your subconscious is very clever, very intelligent to mask it with the pretense of everything is fine. And some of those more challenging memories in our lives, we are just blocking it off and we don't even remember that those memories are. And it is only through the courageous work by looking at or allowing yourself to be in a space where these things can percolate to the surface and can be healed, where you then can actually feel, oh my gosh, I've had this handbrake on for such time in my life, and now all of a sudden the handbrake is off. What am I going to do with my life? And being able to just move forward, and that takes a lot of courage. And I personally do believe, I always say, there is no point in pretending the sun shines when it rains. We have to look at the rain. We have to feel uncomfortable with the fact that the sun doesn't shine obviously as we see it, but actually by moving through the rain, through the storm, we can allow the sun to come back into our lives. And that's just a metaphor for looking at some of those shadow elements that lurk in the depths of our existence that prevent us from moving forward and from being a better version of ourselves. And it requires courage. So I'd like you again, I'd like to acknowledge you both again for embarking on that journey to look at those shadow aspects and transform, transmute, and alchemize them. And that's what really is healing about, in my view anyway.
Yeah.
That's what the center is all about. That's why we called it Awakening Alchemy Center, because we just want to facilitate that process for people and provide people with the tools that they need. Journey. So thank you so much for sharing, Wilma. Sorry, Chrissie. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for sharing, Chrissie. Is there anything more that you'd like to say about your stay or your treatment?
My stay was absolutely fantastic. The lodge itself, it's just it's so calming. It flows. The brightness of it, the light, you know, the natural light that's coming in, you know, from all there's a lot of natural light comes in, which is, you know, fantastic, because in a lot of places nowadays there's very little natural light. It just flows, the comfort of it, the I don't know, that it's just so peaceful, so quiet, so tranquil. You know, you can look out any of the windows and you've got spectacular views, spectacular views. And of course, you've got cattle and sheep, which are always very, very soothing. Cattle.
Yes.
In fact, I was thinking one day, I have seen people, I've seen it on Facebook, and apparently there's this method of where you can actually lie down with cattle. Doesn't have to be cattle, I guess it could be horses.
Fantastic.
And just put your head on their stomach or on their head and just breathe with them. And people find this very relaxing.
Oh, lovely.
Now, I can kind of relate to that, because when I was wee, we had cattle, and I just loved the cattle. They weren't supposed to be pets, but you know what a kid is like, you know. So I do have a huge attachment to the beautiful animals. And all I had to do was look out your window, and they were in abundance, quite happily chewing the cud, not a care in the world.
Yes, yes.
That's great.
Just enjoying their lives. So I'm just throwing that one in there. You know, maybe ask that farmer, could we borrow a few?
You know,
No, cow yoga.
I've heard of goat yoga, but not cow yoga.
So we have
Honestly, look it up. I promise you, look it up.
So
Cattle are amazing. They're just like horses. They'll just stare at you. Big brown eyes looking straight into your soul.
they are holy in India.
We have from hot and spicy to sparkles and Ivana. We have got cows in all shapes and forms.
They have little name tags.
Little names.
Yeah, that's right.
See? And they will answer to these names too.
I like to call them when they're on the field. That's quite funny. Next time, let's try when you
Yodel,
come.
they call
Yeah.
Yes. Give them some bread. They love bread.
Thank you so much for
Okay. Thank you.
So Wilma, you came and you did some treatments with us. Would you like to talk a little bit about what treatments you had and what your experience was?
So I chose the Alexander technique, meditation, and I tried the Marmor Point, and you guys know, they've explained a wee bit more about that. The Alexander technique was my second experience, having tried it when I came up for the workshop. I've had major surgery on my back and suffer from chronic pain. And it's a very simple technique. I'd never experienced it before, Dan. It's the first time with you. But I found it very beneficial. It helped reduce the pain, and it helped with my movement. And I liked the sort of theory that you explained a little bit again about that holding on, you know, that inner shadows or trauma. I'm a great believer that your body physically manifests diseases from how your emotional, your emotional well-being. And I've always been the type of person that's burnt the midnight oil, so worked very hard and played hard, family life, social life, and high cortisol level. And I knew it would catch up eventually, and it did. It stopped me in my tracks with physical health. For years, I've sort of struggled with autoimmune, and then obviously major back issues. So always looking at a way that I can try and rebalance, so almost resetting the body again. And I found the treatments that you guys offered as a branch to that, the Alexander technique has helped pain and movement. The meditation, if you want to zone out, you need to get a meditation with Dan and Thomas. I think after that session, it was at the end of our day, and we actually didn't want to get up and go to our rooms. We'd have been quite happy if you'd put a quilt over us. Now, I go to a lot of these classes, and I've got a diploma in meditation, so I can teach it, but not at the level that I'm experiencing. And the other classes that I've went to, it's not at the level that you guys are teaching. The ambient. I'd already said it, personally, about the skills that you have brought to Scotland and sharing, giving us the opportunity to uptake. It's definitely helping. The Marmor point, I wasn't sure at all about that, no experience. And I'm open to trying anything new, anything that helps to rebalance, harmonise the body. And that one took me by absolute surprise. So just like I was saying, holding on to, running at a high cortisol level, function that way, and your body sort of displaying things. But what it did do, and it did take me by surprise, it made me sort of recognise sort of a childhood experiences. It was almost as if, Thomas, there was a blockage there. During that experience, don't ask me what happened, that little memory of a childhood experience, it was almost as if, that you'd taken the plug out of a balloon, let the air out of it, and this came out, and I had to face, well, I've been holding on as much as we've recognised it and joked about family traumas in the past. If you want to put it as a trauma or an experience. But I didn't realise the impact it had on me until I had that experience. And I felt so much lighter. We hide our ghosts at times, don't we? We don't, there'll be things that you don't like to discuss. If you've been, how you've been brought up, not in a bad way, but enough that's maybe not the norm, and at times, sibling rivalry, etc. And I came home and spoke to my family about that experience and how an experience with one of my siblings had came to light during a session with it. I didn't know what to expect, but it was like a weight being lifted, because, like you say, you can't heal until you recognise and face, these things, shadows, is a word that you used earlier there, and I think you're absolutely right. It's like unburdening and lifting a load, a blockage that you didn't even know was causing some sort. I got upset after that session, not in a bad way, because I hadn't realised that I'd been holding on to, I always like to deal with things really well, take things at a stride and whatever. But I went away and I've done a lot of reflecting on it, and I'm now discussing things more rather than suppressing them and think, well, leave it in the past. I'm not going to do any harm to bring them. You don't need to bring them up again. It's in the past for a reason. But actually, what you taught that day was it is good. It's good to face them, discuss them, and let it go. And I feel so much better from it. So those were the three main treatments, but very personalised package. You both sat when we came the first day and we spoke about the treatments, and I think for that short time, even getting to know us, you were able to make a recommendation that you thought that may benefit us. As I say, I was open to whatever. All I want is that real sense of ambience, relaxation, getting away from the city, the urban lifestyle, and just finding yourself again. And I would definitely say it's a place for really resetting and awakening, and it's high end. When that's, I dip into this all the time. It's part of my world now, but not at you guys' level. And we'll definitely come back. It doesn't matter. We have 3 hours, 3.5 hours away in the car. 6 hours the first day with all the road. But it's not a deterrent. It's something that we're really looking forward to doing and coming back, guys.
Well, we're
Thank
looking
you
forward
so
to
much.
seeing you. Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing, the two of you.
I was just thinking, Wilma, it might help people who are not familiar just to know what Alexander technique is and what the Marmor point therapy is. So just in a very brief way, Alexander technique is a mindful guided movement practice. and it's very good at calming the nervous system and helping with muscular tension and chronic pain in the body. What is Marma point therapy? It's from the
Marma point
Ayurveda, isn't it?
therapy is one of the classical treatments in Ayurvedic medicine.
And what is
which
Ayurveda?
Which is an ancient system of healing that has been around for thousands and thousands
From
of
India.
years, originating from India. So Marma point is basically, Marma points are junction points between physiology and consciousness. So basically, through the application of essential oils with a very, very gentle touch, you mobilize these energy points and allow basically your life force, the pranic energy, to flow freely. And any kind of blocks that we may face, whatever your higher self, I would call it, your higher self is ready to release, may bubble to the surface. And also, that treatment, I find, is although very, very subtle, but can be very, very powerful. So those points, like I said, can be compared to the Chinese acupuncture points, but you can't really compare two languages. Either you speak Spanish or you speak Chinese, but you can't speak, it's different. So the best way to explain it, it links your aspects of your physiology, ligaments, muscle groups within your physiological structure, and provides a direct access to your subconscious, to your higher self. And this is what these points are for. And depending on what goes on, you can treat different points with different essential oils to choose to achieve a specific effect. And this is where the brief consultation comes in, to sit down what is holding you back at this point in time. And that will help to decide which points to be treated.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Well, thank you both so much for your time.
Yes, on a Friday morning.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, thank you both.
Thank you.
And we really hope that we get to see you again soon.
Oh yeah, most
You
definitely.
will. You will.
Get a date in the diary. Yeah, most definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.